life is grand, magnificent. Look around the room and see all of these viewed emanations of God shining so brightly. The luminosity of these beings would blind you if you had no filters on. The beingness of these beings all around you, reflecting the divine Son of God. I'm talking about the S-U-N, brilliant light. Oh my God. Look around and see the beauty. Take it in. Bless it. Bless these beings. Give thanks that these beings have shown up that we all may be lifted together. And then, you can give them some love. You give everybody some love. We give the love streamers some love. We give the Facebook Live people some love. And then look at one of those sweet beings sitting right next to you and let them represent the entire field. Holographically, they represent the entire field just like you represent God. And look at that being and say, you are a mighty fine representative. You are representing love intelligence. You are representing divine beauty. You are representing abundance and prosperity. You're representing divine health and wholeness. Brilliance and intelligence. And you have come to set it free. That we may make a mighty difference on this planet and change the world for the better. Let's be about this together in the here and now, and so it is. Amen. Touch and agree. Come into alignment vibrationally with what has been uttered from your mouth. And get a sense that this field of love and intelligence, the very essence of the Godhead, the very essence of God Almighty, all beauty, all joy, we are releasing that sacred incense, that divine aroma of the presence of the living Spirit. You have come here today because somewhere within you, you know that as the theme would indicate, that you are here to go big and to go home. That you are aware that going big at this juncture of this particular series means that you are expanding the very context by which you are living your life. You've come to know through these teachings that your context determines your perception determines your experience. And so you've expanded your context to living, moving, and having your beingness in God. You are no longer limiting your context to being simply the son or daughter of your parents, or where you were born, or what your nationality is, or sexual orientation. You've gone larger than that. You're living, moving, and having your beingness in the presence of God. And in this sweet ocean of devotion, you've come to be aware that God is not just in everything. Everything is in God. All creation is in the presence, and the presence is never absorbed by its creation. It is bigger than its creation and is always revealing more and more and more and more and more of itself through acts of divine creativity. So that which we see is infinitesimally small to that which you can't see. Now, this is not only true for the presence of God. You are the image and likeness of God. Your life is the substance of God. That means that most of you is invisible. That as large as your world may be, it is infinitesimally small to that which is within you, begging to escape, begging to release itself, begging to live itself, begging to express itself by means of you. So you're going big. Now, of course, we know that going big is a linguistic convenience. It is just a metaphorical way of saying that God is infinite and we're living in it, because there's no big or small in God, because God is everywhere. Nothing can compare to it. There's nothing outside of it. So you can't really say how big it is because it's everywhere. So we say going big as a living metaphor to expand our context, expand our perception, change our experience, so that we're having moment by moment by moment by moment spiritual realization of that which is true via insight, with the awareness, as those who were with us this weekend know, that your awareness is an event that's taking place in consciousness, and an insight is an event that's taking place in your awareness, so that through the diligent study and prayer and meditation, holy fellowship, and all of your spiritual technologies, you become prone to spiritual insight on a regular basis. Therefore, you are always becoming more. Therefore, you're never becoming less than your real, authentic self. You vibrate with the Spirit of the living God. And then we've come to awareness this month that going home means that there is an energetic information that is a signature of your soul. That is, there is a divine and perfect pattern of your life held in the mind of the infinite that is undeniable, untouched by time or experience, and it does not have an expiration date. It is forever. Going home means that you've come to an understanding of your perfection and your completeness and your sacred wholeness. And that perfection and that completeness and that sacred wholeness does not mean static. It means a constant unfolding of that which is real about you, similar to the magnificent seeds that grow. They have a divine and perfect idea within them, and then they grow and they proliferate. They bring fruit richly and continue to unfold in a great and mighty way. And so you have come to an understanding as the spiritual image and likeness of God that those seeds that hit the ground when they're under the right condition, that which is imprinted within that seed flourishes. You've come to an understanding that you control the conditions of your own unfolding, of your own soul. You are here to participate in your own unfolding. You're here to pull away from being a victim and saying that circumstance, that situation, those people, that, this, that, and the other can determine my growth. No, 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 no. You create the condition. You are endogenous, which means you can flourish anywhere, under any circumstances. People have become enlightened in prison. People have found the joy under extreme difficult situations. So you have that same power within you. So you are letting go of your victim card today and saying, I'm going big, I'm going home. There's a presence, there's a power, there's a love, there's an intelligence within me, and it is begging, pleading to escape and to reveal itself by means of me. This is your destiny. This is it, you see. You're going big and going home. So then you come to an understanding via insight, via revelation, via knowing the truth, allowing it to dawn upon your consciousness that you are a tone setter. You are not the individuals that are waking up and waiting for the world to give you your tonal quality. You're not those people. You're not the people that are going to allow the external circumstance and the news and all that to set your tone. No, you are a tone setter. And with every revelation and insight, something begins to happen as we work together this weekend, as you gain dominion over your attention, stewardship over your attention, become vigilant as to what goes in your awareness. You begin to place your attention on a very pure intention. That your intention is to realize your oneness with God. Your intention is to bathe in the sweet, sweet presence on a regular basis. And as you keep bringing your attention back to that intentionality, then the thoughts that you're interested in, you begin to be obtained by your mind. Now, I want you to catch this now, because you think millions of thoughts every single day. However, the ones that coagulate and stick are the ones you're interested in. And if you come off of your meditation mat with the sweet intentionality to realize your oneness with God, then you begin to be receptive to the inspired thoughts emanating from the mind of God, coming and settling within your awareness, as seeds for your growth, development, and unfoldment. But if in fact you're suffering from an intention deficit disorder, there is no intention at all, and the intention is not pure, then you'll be available to the sea of mental garbage, and the thoughts emanating from a sense of separation, the thought forms, and you'll wonder while the roller coaster life is happening in your particular experience, not you, not here, not now. You're not those people, you see? And so you begin to establish that intention, bring it back to it, and then you become available. There's a broadcast. See, there's two broadcasts going on, you see. There's a broadcast from the mind of the infinite saying, let there be light, let there be brilliance, let there be life, and let there be intelligence and love and beauty and wholeness. Every bit of creation is screaming with this broadcast, which is why Yeshua ben Joseph said, if I do not find one worthy, I'll command the rocks to shout out my name. In other words, you are becoming worthy enough. That is, you're able to hold more frequency and more energy because of your attentiveness to your pure intentionality. And so the rocks aren't going to be the only ones shouting out the nature of ultimate reality. It will be you see. And so with that dawning on your consciousness, something begins to happen within you. There begins to be a revelation with whatever it is you contemplate, whatever it is you're interested in, it reveals itself to you. It goes beyond memory. It goes beyond memorization. It goes beyond hypothesis. It goes beyond theory. Something begins to dawn on your awareness. It becomes a part of the activity of your consciousness. And then you begin to understand what spiritual maturity is all about. The first level of spiritual maturity is that you stop talking about yourself all the time and your issues. It kind of fades away. And then the next level, you stop talking about others. And it's just not interesting anymore. And then you stop talking about God. If you talk about God, then you become religious. If you talk from the communion, you become spiritual. And the next level is that you're in communion with the presence. And when you're in communion with this presence, at this state of maturity, and then you're not talking about yourself all the time, you're not talking about others. You're not really speaking to your still spoken through by the presence of God. There's a guidance and a wisdom and an intelligence and a sweetness that begins to use you, a kindness and a compassion and an understanding and a joy and a generosity and a creativity and an elegance of the universe begins to flow through you. You end up in a dynamic spiritual maturity where you're so focused on that which is real, the ability to declare and decree something into manifestation begins to happen with a greater ease because you're no longer distracted by distractions happening in your own mind. You become free. We're going big. We're going home. You are becoming the tone setters so that when you go to anywhere, instead of waiting to see what the tone is and adjust to it, you walk in with the tone that you want to realize. I'm walking in with peace. I'm walking in with love. I'm walking in with beauty. I'm walking in with the sacred silence. I'm walking in with the golden stillness. I'm walking in with greater beauty, you see, and you establish the tonal quality, and what happens is you become a spiritual tuning fork. And as a tuning fork, everyone has the germ of enlightenment within them. Everyone has the light. Everyone has the Christ. Everyone has the Buddha field. There's no one that doesn't. But you become a dynamic tuning fork, and then that tuning fork, it sets others in vibrating. It starts to, they come in your presence, you walk through, and suddenly people get in a good mood. They get in a bad mood because stuff has to be released, but you're no longer neutral is what I'm saying. Spirit is not neutral. It drives or draws. It drives away or draws to. But you begin to be a tuning fork for what is necessary on the planet, and you begin to understand what is meant by being a beneficial presence. Being a beneficial presence doesn't mean being a do-gooder. It doesn't mean being a beneficent person, because sometimes do-gooders get in the way, like the missionaries that ruined many African cultures. Went in trying to do good, ruined a lot of things. Trying to do good, we're going to give them our religion because they don't know about God, and they were at one with the universe already. Then all of nature and the oceans were not separated. Indigenous cultures already had it. You see, before religion even began, they were already hanging out in the sea of oneness. But to do good consciousness, you see, and so we're not here to be do-gooders. We are here to be a presence of God Almighty, all beauty and all joy. And it is so necessary at this particular time in human history. We're at the arc of history, right this moment where great changes are occurring. And we're in a moment in which we must begin to see and articulate a greater vision for humanity, particularly when the last bastion of the ego are nation states. Nation states that would say silly things like my country, right or wrong, that would speak to an immature pseudo-nationalism or an immature pseudo-patriotism. Those things are a hedge against mysticism. Anything that blocks you off from another, whether it's national, international, or individual, is a hedge against your mystical seeing that we're all one. One race, human race. We're all one. And so at a time now in which your country is separating kids from their parents, a time in which our government is under the aegis of separation, racism, fascism, bigotry, a time in which individuals are doing the most egregious things in terms of separating kids from their parents. Our indigenous individuals from Australia are saying, this is reminding me of the stolen generation, you see, and the Japanese brothers and sisters are saying, this is reminding me of the internment camps years ago, you see. And so we're in a time in which we must be the individuals that tilt the scale towards justice and right action and love and peace. We are the ones who must set the tone of a high resolve of what's possible. Not with hate, not with bitterness. Because we know that the individuals, our younger brothers and sisters who are under siege of an egoic sense of separation, just don't know any better. And they've gotten caught up in greed and avarice and pseudo-power and fear and doubt and worry. And so we must be the tone setters. And we must allow the Spirit of God to use our voice. The Spirit of God to use our pen. The Spirit of God to use our feet. The Spirit of God to use whatever gift we have to articulate a vision of possibility on the planet and then be moved into an action that fits our particular gift. So those individuals that think they're in power come to a realization that they have pseudo-power, that the real power is God and the spiritual idea that has been placed within us. We're coming under the government of the Christ, under the government of the Buddha field, under the government of right action. We got to catch this now. We don't want our Aboriginal brothers to be deeply remembering that lost generation, our Japanese brothers and sisters to remember what we did, or not we, I have to disavow myself from that, but what the government did in putting people in internment camps. And we don't want to keep peeling away the scar tissue of the African American diaspora that suffered through years of slavery and forced immigration. We want to open up a whole new page of history. And so we're understanding that the fascism, the racism is rising up because it's time to see it for what it is. It can no longer be hidden. A few years ago, it wasn't popular to be a racist. People hid that in the back closet, you see. But now they're just coming on out. Ah, yes, I hate Mexicans. I hate gay people. I hate black people. And so that's good. Now we can heal them because we can see them. We can see them. We can pray for them because we can see it, not hiding anymore. You see, come on out. Be bold with your assertions of negativity. Be bold with your assertions of hate and separation. Be bold with it. It means we're closer to your demise. The louder you get, the faster we know you're dying. The louder that negativity gets, you are close to death. Because a wild animal screams the loudest right before it dies, you see. So come on up. Proclaim your ignorance so that we can embrace you with a love so strong that Christed nature within you will start to wake up. we start to feel a sense of trembling. And that Jericho wall around your heart will begin to fall down based on our praise, our thanksgiving, our action, our prayer, our deep knowledge that life always wins. That life always wins. You are the tone setter. You're it. You're it. You're the tone setter. You're the tone setter. You're the tuning fork. And as Reverend Coco said earlier to me, we don't want to be tone deaf. You see, we are establishing a tonal quality of such love and compassion. You know what compassion is? Compassion is the understanding of the lack of understanding. And so Dr. King had a lot of compassion. Mohandas K. Gandhi had a lot of compassion. We've got to rise up in that same vibration. We've got to have compassion without bending towards acquiescence, without bending towards complacency. We don't want to be Rip Van Winkle sleeping through a revolution. We want to be on the forefront of a revolution of such loving integrity that the world gets to be built right through us. So we're not the people saying, God, 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 please come and help us, because God is saying, that's why I sent you, boo. Listen, the presence of God is saying, I'm invisible. I'm invisible substance. I'm formless. That's why I created you. You're the instrument. I created you to reveal me, to represent me, to sing my songs, to dance my dance, to do my poetry, to give off the love and the peace, the generosity and the wholeness. That's why I created you. Just as a saxophone is an instrument for the music, you are an instrument for God. That's who you are. Brilliant, magnificent, undaunted by the seeming blockages and hindrances. And understand this. We are not talking about juvenile partisan politics. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about humanity. I'm talking about humanity, the egregious stuff that humanity is doing to humanity. It transcends juvenile politics. We're talking about how would you want your child to be treated? How would you want your kids to be treated? How would you want your kids to be treated when you are escaping the regimes of dictators, trying to get asylum? How do you want to be treated? We're talking humanity, not politics, not partisan politics. We're talking love and humanity. And so individuals who are metaphysical have an awareness of vibration and frequency, have an awareness that love is at the highest, and peace and joy are vibrating high. And so we have to pay attention. I now deputize you with the richness to pay attention. You're so rich now that you can actually pay attention. And you can actually embrace an intention that is worthy of you, so that the thoughts of the infinite start to galvanize around that intention. And then it dawns upon your awareness. The activity of those particular inspired thoughts of God starts to become real until you know the presence. You don't just know about it. If you know about God, the best you can achieve is being religious. But when you know God, then you become spiritual. I'll always remember when Dr. King got that phone call in the middle of the night about they were going to bomb his house and kill his children. And at a moment of deep despair, there was a moment in which he went in and prayed, and something happened. And it was at that moment that he got the presence was real. In spite of the hate, threats, there was something that dawned upon his awareness. It was no longer a theoretical exhortation of sermonizing. It was real. God, we want all of us to have that. Because it doesn't say, ye shall know about the truth, and the truth will make you free. It doesn't say you shall memorize the truth, and the truth shall make you free. It doesn't say you should just think about it, and it'll make you free. It doesn't think you can absolutely speak it all the time. No. It says you shall know it. You shall know the truth. Capital T, truth. Your life is the life of God. You shall know this truth, and your spiritual practices, you know what they're called? They're called dynamics of liberation. That's what it's called. It's the dynamic of liberation, setting yourself free from the limited points of view and thought forms that run your life and run your mouth and run your feet. No, we're becoming liberated. So this grand spiritual idea, this divine experiment of living biology perfectly reflecting the cosmos, all humanity seeing it together. This experiment is counting on us, all of life, trusted you with everything. And so you get to be available. You get to participate in your own unfolding. Oh, I want you to catch this. We're going big. That's a metaphor. That's a metaphor. We're going home. Perfect spiritual idea. You are a tone setter. So you just think about that. As you're about to get on the freeway, what tone am I about to set today? As this traffic starts to coagulate and slow down. Because it's not kept in your car. That tone that you're establishing, it doesn't stop at your window. It goes out to the noosphere. You see, what tone are you establishing? What tone are you establishing? That's all you got to say. What tone am I about to establish right now? And then you take a breath. You come into the essence of the Spirit. Perhaps it's peace. Perhaps it's beauty. Perhaps it's love. Perhaps it's creativity. Perhaps it's joy. This is the tone. I'm walking in with this tone. And I'm going to be a living tuning fork that will slowly allow others to become active in this particular dynamic. I'm going to exercise patience. I'm going to exercise forbearance. I'm going to exercise vision, possibility. I'm going to purify my intention. I'm going to purify my language until the presence of God has a way to shine. And so you want to publicly disavow where egregious behavior is happening so that it doesn't become a karmic stain on your soul by complicity. You say no, or complacency. You don't want to be complicit. Yeah, I hear you. You want to be complicit with it because you'll take it on. No, you want to disavow and then call forth a higher vision. What would compassion do? What would love do? What would peace do? What would God do? What would joy do? That's how we treat each other to the best of our ability. And when we fall, we get back up. You see, you are duly empowered as energetic, divine openings to reveal the realm of ever-expanding good. I hear Marvin Gaye singing on that album, What's Going On, about the children. You remember that? You know? Oh, I can hear him singing it right now. I think I can hear it right now. Go big. Expand your context. Go home. Spiritual idea. Be a tone setter. Establish the tone within yourself. Allow for your purity of your intention to pull the spiritual thoughts called inspiration and coagulate around you so that you begin to know the truth. It begins to be real to you, not just a belief system, but something that's operating within you on a regular basis. You'll stop talking about yourself as much. You'll have testimony, yes. Yes. You'll have insights, yes. Visions, yes. Possibilities, yes. You stop talking about others so much. You stop talking about God up there. And you start to reveal God. Be a manifestation, a representation of the presence of God's beauty and intelligence and inspiration. You will live up to the true calling of which you have a decree to magnify the Spirit of the living God. That's what you are here to do and to be. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Take a breath right here. Receive it. Release the sound of ah. And let's turn within this moment. Let's come to a great understanding that we are a blessing field. So we're a blessing praying field of consciousness. This awareness is now capturing the insights from the presence of God so that our consciousness is becoming more and more pristine, and we protect it. We are vigilant about what goes in. So that the word that is being spoken from this deep sense of gratitude, thanksgiving, and pure recognition is the word of God, a law unto itself that only knows its own unfolding. It doesn't know anything else. It doesn't tarry with yesterday. It only knows its own unfolding. That law, the law of gravity, doesn't tarry with yesterday. It's not considering, well, somebody fell yesterday, somebody didn't fall yesterday. It just is. Law of aerodynamics isn't tarrying with yesterday. Well, I had 20 planes fly through me yesterday. I don't know if I can do 21. Law of aerodynamics is the law of aerodynamics. This is the law of God. The word that is being spoken does not tarry with yesterday. That only knows its own unfolding. I speak it for each and every individual here. Individual means undivided. I speak the word for each and every individual here, knowing that their life is indeed the life of God Almighty, all beauty, all joy, almighty, not some mighty, all joy, not some joy, all peace, not some peace. I speak the word that we're connected. And the divine and compelling right action is revealing itself through us. Divine health, we're strong enough to carry a mission, strong enough to carry a vision, strong enough to carry an intention, strong enough to carry the will of God, which is for a greater expression of life. The word is spoken for our divine health and well-being. The word is spoken for the vibration of all needs met to be active within us, that the very DNA of our DNA that's loaded and coded within us is now shifting its history about us. It may have been alignment with disease or lack of, but the DNA is now shifting and coming into a jubilant celebration of infinite possibility lying within us right now. History is changing within us right now. Every organ and action and function of our being is being made whole. Mental body is pure, emotional body is absolutely clean, and physical body is revealing the sacred order of the universe, and even our financial body is beginning to hear, oh, I'm living in a sea of abundance. I'm living in opulence. There's no scarcity in the mind of God. There's only abundance. I'm living in abundance now. We begin to study upon this and pray upon this and contemplate upon this and feel our way into this, so we shall know the truth, and the truth liberates us from a limited point of view. I feel it in my bones this morning. Feel it. My soul, feel it. I feel it. I feel it. Feel the wholeness, the revelation of healing, the dynamic good that wants to express through you right now. You lack nothing. Feel it. Feel it.
I get a healing early in the morning, a healing all deep inside me, a healing rise with the sun. Oh, I get a healing early in the morning, a healing all deep inside me, a healing rise with the sun. Oh, I get a feeling, yes, that a love that's so very wonderful is moving behind and before me to heal and rise with the sun. Oh, I get a feeling that a love that's so very wonderful is moving behind and before me. I can heal and rise with the sun. And and I laid down my burden that I heavy on my heart. Love is stronger than the reasons that would keep us all apart. Love as light as a feather wakes me up to meet the sun. And my heart is better when I know that we are one. And I get a healing early in the morning, a healing all deep inside me, a healing rise with the sun. Oh, I get a feeling that a love is so very wonderful. It's moving behind and before me. I can heal and rise with the sun. Rising.
Agape community, we don't just get up anymore, we rise. We don't just get up, we rise. We rise with the sun. We rise with the sun. We rise with the bliss. We rise with the beauty. We rise with the glory of the living God. In this rising, we cast a mighty blessing